Good afternoon, everybody. It's hump day. We're midway through the week. It's Wednesday. This is Just Parlays with the star of the show, Chris King. I'm the guy that's just along for the ride. I'm Scott Steehn, lead handicapper over at winnersandwinders.com. Good to welcome you guys aboard. Chris, what's going on today, buddy? How are you?
Not bad. I mean, like we were talking, we're both dealing with some high temperatures in the mercury, so makes for entertaining times for everybody.
A little warm right now, my friend. A little warm right now, indeed. So it's good to be here. It's like we mentioned, it's a bright, sunny Wednesday indeed. So you all right?
Yeah, I was just moving the light.
Going in for the close up there?
Sure. I see unknown saying bandages because the Blue Jays burned a lot of people yesterday.
Blue Jays. What is wrong with you? You'll eat bugs and like it, says Andrew. Very nice. You ever had bugs? You ate crickets or anything?
They make you do that in SEER school,
At what?
SEER school, search, evade, all that good stuff that you do in the military.
Oh.
Like you see in Rambo where they smack him around and torture him a whole bunch of times, try to make him give up information.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you kind of get to do that kind of stuff.
Well, that sounds awful.
But no, I mean, I've had crickets because they serve them at what was then Safeco Field, now T-Mobile Park.
Uh-huh.
Not really crazy about them.
Okay, fair enough. Lex Steele in the house. I know it's a big day for Lex.
Oh. Yeah, thanks, Lex. It took me friggin' 2.5 hours to figure that out because I couldn't put anything else in from games. What the hell kind of sportsbooks don't let you pick stuff from the same game?
I need a 10-leg parlay with 10 different games, and there's only 8 scheduled. So enjoy.
And 3 of them already started. So
it's Wednesday and Thursday, the getaway days since they started the new rules here last season, where you have to play an early game on getaway day if you're traveling. It's made doing our job here in the afternoon a little bit challenging, Christopher.
It's going to make it very challenging tomorrow because I just looked and there's 9 games total. One starts at 1:30, one goes at 2:20, and then there's 2 that start at 3:07 and 3:10.
Outstanding.
So by the time you get on with Reichel, there'll only be 5 games left.
I'm looking forward to it. Well,
enough that there's only going to be 7 for me.
I don't have to come up with a 10 fucking leg parlay. So
well, this is true. This just means I'll get to go back to putting in a whole bunch of stuff about the basketball game.
There you go. Hey guys, which would be so kind, give us the old thumbs up. Give us that like. Give us that like. Let us know that you like us.
Or give us the middle finger. Who cares?
You like me. You really like me. It's a good thing they don't have a middle finger button on the.
Yeah, we probably get a lot of those, but that's just because we're diverse in what we talk about.
Depends on how your day went before. That's pretty much you're going to get a lot of middle fingers. So it's good to be here, guys. As always, don't forget to get subscribed. We know you're watching us on the Max Wagers Network because that's the only place we're available right now when we do this live. So if you haven't subscribed to the Max Wagers Network, we appreciate it. We're going steady now. Go ahead and accept that ring. So hit that button, subscribe. Ring the bell, baby. Get that bell notified every time we start up. That way you get reminded. And of course, we want to remind everybody that we got a great deal going on at Caesars. And Chris, if anything, and not even if anything, it got better.
It did.
It got better. The great deal at Caesars got better. It is now $1,500, man.
Ooh, nice.
$1,500. They will make that up to you if you lose that amount. It is, of course, on your first bet, first deposit. There's a new code, everybody. You ready? Ready for the code? Write this down. It is Video Winners 15. Man, that's a lot to type.
Yeah, it is. Why couldn't they just say, Video WW or VW? Well, then they would have thought it was Volkswagen.
VW 15. So it's Video Winners 15, all one word, no spaces, because we haven't used a space since 1986. So. All one word. If you would be so kind, if you're looking to make that first bet, if Caesars is in your state, if you're 21, you've got a great opportunity there. So make sure you take advantage of it. That we will, of course, repost that code in the description of today's video.
If you're in New Hampshire and Wyoming, you only have to be 18, so you don't have to worry about being 21.
It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. Freedom, am I right?
Right. Now think about that. That's a 36.4% boost on what they were giving you before.
Yeah, it's very good. Chris has actually ran the math there. Very good, buddy.
substantial boost. So
yeah, so check that out, and yeah, almost a 50% jam over what they were giving you before. So if you haven't taken advantage of it, please avail yourself of this opportunity. I wouldn't wait for next month and see if it's going to be $2,000. I think I got a feeling
they'll probably move it back to like $3.
I got a feeling 1,500 is going to be about the tops of that. So make sure you take advantage of that as well. If you're looking for more great picks from Chris and I, we do have those available in the form of premium picks, and you will find the links for both of those in today's show notes as well.
How'd you do yesterday?
2-2 on the premium side. We hit the farm. We had the Braves. My God, that line went nuts, man. We capped that the night before. The run line was 130. By game time, it was 180. It was minus 300 were the Braves and minus 180.
Yeah, remember, that's the game I said I wouldn't put up because at that point it was minus, I think, 250.
Yeah, we did
the show yesterday.
We had some grumbling when we put up a 150 as far as the bet the farm play goes, but we had it capped at 130, and but it ended up being well worth the price as they win it by multiple runs. So not a problem there. And my play of the day was the Guardians on the run line. They win. They don't cover. Good teams win. Great teams cover. I think that about sums it up with the Cleveland Guardians.
Well, Cleveland left a lot of guys on base when they had opportunities too. I mean, I watched part of that game.
Yep.
I was just glad they won since we put them in the 2-teamer yesterday. So
yeah, and we split on the premium side, lost out on Tampa Bay against the Yankees. That you were right, Chris. I didn't want to say anything, but you were absolutely correct. That was my long shot plus 190 with Kluber going against Cole.
Low scoring game, and it was sad because both runs were, we talked about it yesterday, they were unearned runs.
Yep. Kluber was good. Cole was better, and Kluber had the worst defense behind him, so they lose that one 2-0. And we had the as before previously mentioned in the comments section, we also had the Toronto Blue Jays on the run line as well, and they did not get home against the Orioles, who exist only to make my bets look bad whenever I decide to fade them. So.
Yeah, well, we hit both the 2-teamers here on the show yesterday. If Tony Gonsolin would have struck out 5 instead of 6, thanks a lot. 7th guy in the order for the Angels, whose name I don't even remember because he's that bad.
Right.
That pushed it over. That cost the 4-teamer because we had the White Sox and the Yankees, and Ramirez going over 1.5 total bases in that game. Of course, he drove in 3 of Cleveland's 4 runs.
Right.
But you don't get anything for that.
He's a little hot right now.
And then on the premium side, we had a 2 and a couple of 4s that hit yesterday, so it was a good day all around. It would have been nice if the Phillies, did you see any of that game yesterday? Down 4-0 in the first, they led 8-4. Then there was 8-8. Then they went up 9-8. And then they gave up 3 in the 9th and lost 11-9.
I've seen all the people excoriating the Phillies on Twitter, so I assume something bad happened. They talked about I saw some highlights there from the 9th inning when they had a couple of errors or.
Yeah, I mean they were. And then they had an 0-2 count on the guy, and the guy grooved a pitch and watched it get driven about 6 miles into the right center field gap. I mean, you got to make better pitches than that. But, I mean, Rye has been very vociferous talking about the Phillies bullpen and how, dismal it is. We thought they were going to blow the game the other night when Alcantara was pitching, and they didn't. But then they turned around and blew it last night when some scrub was pitching for the Marlins.
Thanks, Marlo. We appreciate it as always. James S. likes the Cardinals today behind Jack Flaherty coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I've looked at Flaherty's minor league numbers. He only made 2 rehab starts. He threw a total of 7 innings. Gave up 1 run on, 1 hit. That's all he gave up. 1 goddamn hit.
I don't know. I tend to, when I look at veterans in the minors coming off a rehab, if the numbers are good, I'm excited. If the numbers are bad, I don't really care because you never know what they're working on.
Yeah, well, if they're just trying to build up or if they're working on a new pitch or whatever.
Well, yeah, he could be out there going, I've been struggling with my breaking pitch, so I'm going to throw 90% sliders. And batters start sitting on the slider, and sometimes you get hammered. You'll see that in spring training, and you say, Verlander got hammered in spring training over 2 innings. That don't mean a fucking thing to me. It really is with veteran pitchers. So
so he gave 1 run. It was a solo homer, no walks, 9 strikeouts in those 7 frames. So his WHIP is .143.
So Rye says Knievel sucks. He lost the closing job today. I don't know. I mean,
He's been walking a tightrope for a while.
yeah, changing closers in June is not generally something contending teams do.
But I mean, let's be honest. Do the Phillies really have a closer that they can say is
obviously not, or they wouldn't have had Knievel out there.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. I wanted to see how many guys actually had saves for the Phillies this season, just out of curiosity. Because I mean, they had Rye's right. Knievel's not the answer. He's got 11 saves. Let's see. So who's it going to be? Is it going to be Dominguez? Are they going to go back to Uris Familia? Is it going to be Brad Hand? I mean, do you want any of these guys closing for you?
I don't think they're too high on Familia right now either.
I mean, but I'm just saying, is it going to be Dominguez? I mean, I guess, he's probably the best of a bad bunch. His ERA is 188. He struck out 32 in 24 innings. It's probably, I would imagine, to be him or Hand. But then, then you got to figure out who's going to take that setup spot.
Right. I mean, Hand obviously has a lot of experience doing it with Cleveland and whatnot, but
I mean, when it comes right down to it, do you want either one of those guys as your
closer? No. I'm always a little skeptical of left-handed closers anyway. I don't know why, but it seems weird. Like a left-handed quarterback, it just assaults my sensibilities for some reason.
Speaking of left-handed quarterbacks, I thought it was interesting because I saw an article yesterday where
Scott Mitchell back in the news?
No, not Scott Mitchell. They said that Tony Baselli's claim to getting in the Hall of Fame was because he got the upper hand on Bruce Smith in a playoff game.
Wow. Okay. Well, put him in the Hall of Fame for that.
Yeah, Bruce Smith said so. He said Will Wolford and a bunch of other guys had good games against me too. They should use that as their argument to get into the Hall of Fame.
No question about it. James S. says, if I was to leave my NFL team, I think I would be a Buffalo Bills fan. They're fun to watch. Huh? If you like disappointment and losing, sure. Go ahead. Knock yourself out. I don't know what team you're leaving to go to the Bills, but Godspeed.
What did you do in the AFC Championship game? Didn't you blow a multiple score lead?
We got there. That's what we. That's
you
what
got
we
there
did.
on a coin flip.
Whatever, dude. When you're when Josh makes a one AFC Championship game, we can talk.
So when he gets there this year and Kansas City's stuck because they have to deal with everybody else in the AFC West, then what?
No, then we'll talk. But until that happens,
Speaking of, what do you make of the West?
What do I make of it?
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying the Chargers are the team to beat over there.
Are you just reading last year's notes?
No. I was just reading what people keep saying on Twitter. I haven't really looked at everything.
They said the same thing last year. They said the same thing last year. This is the Chargers year. Oh, fuck off. I'll believe when I see it.
No, everybody's saying because Herbert's still on a rookie deal, so they don't have to. They could reinvest money out in other spots. Getting Khalil Mack and keeping Mike Williams and all those guys. I personally don't watch the Chargers all that much because of the fact that they're on the other coast. They don't really show them on TV here.
Right, Capes is on a one familia on my team.
Send him back to Tim Earl. He'll take him.
No, I don't think so. Man. Yeah, we'll talk a little NFL as the season gets closer, but I'm not when you have the best quarterback on the planet, I'm not too worried about much at all.
But come on, he's not as accurate as Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, okay. I watched that clip.
Did you?
And Sharp brought up a good point. He says, well, maybe that's true. Tua's throwing 5 yards down the field, so you expect him to hit the guy in stride. Yeah. It's a great
thing. I love how everybody's hyping up Miami because they got him and they got Chase Edmonds and they got
whatever, dude.
All these, but if you can't stretch the field, nobody's going to be intimidated by you.
There's not a right-thinking, sober person on the planet that goes, I'd rather have Tua than Patrick Mahomes. No one says that. No, I know Tyreek's saying what he's got to say. He's got to hype up his new quarterback. But, and that deal, that's a really weird deal. It's really, really backloaded. So you hear about all this, all this fucking money that he's going to be making. And there's a really good chance he ain't going to be making most of that money. His last year was loaded at 45 million for his last year.
Yeah, he's not going to see that probably.
No, of course not. At best, it gets restructured. At best.
I saw Minkah Fitzpatrick just signed a new deal for the highest contract for a safety.
I'm okay with that.
More than 18.4 million a year.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
That's still a lot of money for a safety.
It is. I think he is. I'm trying to think of anybody I think is a better safety, and it doesn't come to me right off the tip of my tongue. You got anybody?
Well, I mean, they're saying Jamal Adams had has had the biggest deal before. I wasn't really a fan of Adams. He's more of a run-stopping safety. He's not a guy that plays coverage.
Yeah, he's a guy that stops the run and rushes the quarterback. Just what you want in your safety.
Well, exactly. That's my point. I do like Micah Hyde. I think is good. There's a couple other. I mean, the Honey Badger was good, but I don't know how he'll fit in New Orleans.
James S. says, everybody says that about their team. We're going to make it this year. That's what Chiefs suck. Fuck off. Chiefs suck. You can say you don't like the Chiefs, but to say they suck is flying in the face of evidence. The team that's made 4 straight AFC Championship games. So.
Yeah, well, back in the 90s when I was, younger, people always used to say the Bills sucked, even though they went to 4 straight Super Bowls. So, I mean, I get what you're saying because obviously it flies in the face of conventional wisdom. But there are people that have their opinions as diluted as they are.
That's all right.
I mean, I'm not going to say the Chiefs suck. I will tell you I don't like them.
Rice's Chargers will disappoint like they always do. They do come up. Speaking of new and interesting ways to lose games, that's absolutely true with the Chargers. We thought it was the coach. They bring in a new coach and they come up with a whole new way. We're gonna lose games, except we're going to do it analytics friendly. We're going to blame analytics for our terrible coaching. So
Rice says it's the Eagles' time.
Boston College.
I was trying to think of another school that was the Eagles, but I couldn't come up with one off the top of my head.
Half the schools in college are the Eagles. You can't come up with another one? Come on.
Well, I was thinking of the Minnesota State Screaming Eagles, but Hayden Fox and Dauber aren't around to run that team.
Exactly. The common fan doesn't understand that. Yeah, agreed. So get on the bandwagon. I like that Eagles team. I really.
I'm still not sold that Jalen Hurts is the answer at quarterback.
If they build the offense around him, they give him a little time, let him do what he does well, I think they'll be okay. We'll see. All right. What else did we forget? We forget anything?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We didn't talk about Reichel, but
I'm fine with that.
We still haven't seen that sport coach.
I've had plenty of Reichel. I did Total Chaos with him last night. I did Morning Wood with him this morning. I'm going to do a show in 40 minutes with him. I'm good. I didn't
know you were on there this morning.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm Morning Wood. I missed out on the WNBA conversation, but I made it in time for hockey.
Darn, you missed the WNBA. I looked at the games in there today, and I said, "Well, I'm not touching those because."
No. All right, buddy. So we got a big day to get to. So let's rock and roll, shall we?
Sure, why not?
All right, let's talk a little baseball.
All right, and we'll start with everybody's favorite team that we don't like to talk about. It's the Dodgers and the Angels. In case you were wondering, the Angels didn't score last night. Big surprise. Low-scoring game, though. But Syndergaard did give up another stolen base.
Okay.
And he walked in a guy, which was the first run of the game. Look who's pitching tonight, Scott. It's your buddy Reed Detmers.
It is my buddy Reed Detmers. Mr. Go figure that out.
I looked at his numbers. He's thrown 49 and a third innings in 10 starts, so he's averaging less than five an outing.
Yep.
You take out his no-hitter, and he's down to like 4 and a third.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he don't go long. Well, in 4 and a third, it's the good news, bad news. His last 2 starts. Good news is he hasn't given up a run in 2 starts. Bad news is he's only gone 4 and a third each time. So,
do you think that's pretty much his limit at this point?
It looks like it. I mean, he's just not efficient. He walks too many guys. He's not efficient with his pitches. That's the problem with Reed Detmers. The thing about that is then you get the Los Angeles Angels bullpen involved, which It's not quite the house of horrors that it has been in the past.
It's still not good though.
Their numbers are decent on the road. They're like a 4 ERA and a 101 WHIP, so they're okay. But it's with Detmers, you're going to get at least 4 innings, and probably you could have 4+ of the Angels bullpen. So does that affect how you feel about this one?
I still think the Angels are going to lose. I think Detmers could go 6 and still lose.
Okay.
I just don't have a ton of faith in, especially the way the Angels have hit during this slump, which has gone on for 3 weeks now.
As in not at all. Yeah. They're out of their losing streak, but they're still not scoring any runs. You're absolutely correct, and that does make it difficult to beat the Dodgers, who have done a great job at suppressing runs. They're another team that hasn't done a great job offensively lately.
That's true. They have scuffled.
They've had the pitching to make up for it, and that's made the difference here. I also really like Tyler Anderson. He's been really good. Team is 7-2 in his starts, 3.20 ERA, 1.1 WHIP.
It's scary that he's got 7 wins.
Yeah. Well, again, I don't even look at wins. So
I know, but I'm just saying that he's 7-0.
Well, the one thing wins will tell you is that he's going at least 5 innings.
True.
So Detmers has got a couple of games where, they've won and he hasn't gotten any credit for it because he can't make it through 5. So,
but the Angels, they've been playing 3 times in the last 10 games. They've scored 2 or less in half of them.
Yep. Here's my problem with this game. It's a night game in LA. It's going to be a low scoring game, most likely. And that's what I worry about with anytime you have to cover a run line, you don't have as many runs to play with. That's why I like the Cleveland play yesterday. They're playing Colorado. I figured there would be plenty enough runs to give them room.
So did I with Senzatella pitching.
Right. That's the only thing I worry about with this game right here as far as playing the run line goes. I worry that there's not going to be enough runs for them to do it. But
I'm thinking we could see another 2-0, 3-1 type of game.
Yeah, that's kind of what we got to be hoping for at this point. I like the under here. Not gonna lie.
So do I. I have it down further.
I'm sure. So, okay, yeah, take the Dodgers if you don't want to lay the run line. Just add it to one of your parlays, or put it together in a 2-teamer
or a 3-teamer like the one Bronco had yesterday. Was it Bronco or AJ? I can't remember.
Bronco had a 3-teamer. A couple guys had the Dodgers in the 3-teamer.
Yeah, somebody had the Braves, the Giants, and the Dodgers. I thought it was Bronco, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, there you go. Angels 1-10 last 11 road games, and they're not doing well. Following up victories 4-17 last 21. Those 2 stats are very important. So
James said Chiefs fans are going to be like Cowboy fans, but they won a Super Bowl years back and won't let it go.
Well, it was 2 years ago, so I'm okay. I do agree.
He said if they didn't suck, they would have won the Super Bowl. So every other team sucked except the Rams.
Well, fair enough. I don't care.
And he said his team super sucks like a hooker on Saturday night.
Ooh. Who's his team?
I don't know. He didn't say. I was going to say I was going to take a guess. It was the Jets or the Jaguars or something like that. Because those are the teams that really suck. But I'm just guessing because he said they super suck. So
give me another game.
All right. How about we go to the Braves and the Nationals? Because let's talk about a team that can't win against a team that won't lose. Braves have won 13 in a row now.
Yep.
Now we can't talk about how shitty they are. Sadly, they haven't gained a ton of ground in the NL East. They're still 5 games behind the Mets. They have put a little distance between themselves and everybody else in the division.
The never were.
Yeah, the Phillies, the Marlins, and of course Washington, who's comfortably ensconced in the basement. 18 and a half games back.
So you got Strider going. That's a big deal. They've been waiting for this kid forever, and he's been pretty good so far, right? Mm-hmm. And 31. I don't like. He still walks too many.
Yeah, but look at the strikeout rate though.
That's right. 50.
About 13 and a half per 9.
That's exactly what that would be. Got Fetty Wap on the mound for Washington. Read them and weep right there. Lays it out. 5 ERA, 1.5 WHIP.
Yeah, he walks a lot of guys too.
Almost the same rate, 28 and 57 in the third.
And Raya, the fashion expert, says Strider has badass facial hair, because that's always important when you're trying to figure out which pitcher you're going to back. Which guy has the better facial hair?
I haven't even seen a picture of him. I haven't seen him pitch.
Yeah, me either. I'm just going, but Rye, he's on top of this stuff. He's told you multiple times that Gomber's wife from the Rockies is hot, and now he's telling you that Strider has badass facial hair. So
he does. He's got a porn star mustache with a little soul patch there. It's all right.
But he's no Rod. He's no Rod Beck with the giant mustache.
Who?
Yeah,
absolutely not. Gomber's wife's name is Vivek Gomber.
I'm guessing she's from what, Eastern Europe?
That'd be my guess. Oh no! Wait a minute. Oh no! This is Rachel.
Well, that's a lot different.
This is a lot different than Vivek. Yeah. First child. Okay. Yeah. No, he's married to Rachel. Okay. His wife chronicles their life on TikTok. I'm surprised I haven't seen as much time as I spend on TikTok. You have TikTok? You have the app?
No, I haven't put it on my phone or anything.
I will occasionally go down the TikTok rabbit hole.
Is that how you ended up with that one about the bubblegum thing or whatever it was that Bronco went down that hole last week?
No, he was watching YouTube videos on
Oh, okay.
One-hit wonders of the 60s, the 1910 Fruit Gum Company. And
that's it.
There was another band that did a song like that called the Ohio something, and I can't even remember what it was. I want to say something with a railroad, but Ohio Crossing, or I don't know.
Yeah, I remember we were trying to figure out what that was. We thought I mentioned the Ohio Players. We said it wasn't them.
No, not the Ohio Players. Ohio Players though had the best album covers of anybody.
And it wasn't Player with Baby Come Back.
Baby Come Back. Do you remember? Look up Ohio Players record album sometime.
I'll have to check that out after the show. James's team is the Arizona Cardinals.
There's hope. There's hope there.
Well, DeAndre Hopkins is suspended for the first 6 games, so I mean he's got to deal with that. Kyler Murray wants more money. I don't know if Hollywood Brown is going to be a help to that team or not.
He kind of threw. I don't think he's going back to Baltimore at any time. He kind of threw them under the bus.
And hey, Stein, Jordan wants to know what you think about the Blue Jays on the run line and the Rays on the money line.
Let me take a look.
It's Barrios and who is it for Baltimore? Is it
Bruce Zimmerman? Fade Bruce Zimmerman. That's what I think. Although, God, you see, there's those prices we were talking about, Chris.
Yep, it was minus 280. It was the lowest I saw of it earlier.
That's what I've got it at minus 280. So, yeah, I like Fade and Zimmerman. My advice on those kind of games is look for hidden value. Look for strikeout props. You want to play a first 5 run line, something like that. You might be able to get it down to a reasonable price, maybe minus 150 on the first 5 run line, something like that. So, I like the matchup with Toronto. I don't love the value. I don't. Barrios has been
inconsistent.
Yeah, he's been. Zimmerman has been dreadful his last 3 starts. Now, this is a guy that got, and again, we use this as a yardstick. He got lit up by Kansas City, Chris. He gave up 7 runs in less than 5 innings.
Yeah, so, before that, he's given up at least 4 runs in each of his last 5 starts.
Yep, 5, 4, 6, 5, 7. Not good at all. So, yes, I like Toronto there. I just don't know if there's enough value to get me interested at that price.
On the run line, I think it was minus 145 or something like that. And then minus 2.5 was minus 105.
See, this is, every day we open the show with people unhappy with fucking Toronto. So, having said that, I'll take them, but I'm not interested in laying that kind of number.
And of course, one of the games that we would have talked about had it not started already, the Astros have scored 6 in the top of the first and knocked out Texas's starting pitcher after 2/3 of an inning.
Goodbye.
So 6-0, the Astros still batting in the top of the first.
Yeah, we just talked about that game on on Allie's show, and they were like, "I stay away from the Texas Houston game." I'm like, okay, well, I think fucking Houston's going to dominate that game. So
Yeah, it's friggin' Tyson Miller got the start for the Rangers. I mean,
as far as the Yankees, Tampa Bay under. That's what I like there. You got Cortez going against McClanahan, two very good pitchers that are pitching still very well right now. McClanahan really starting to come into his own. 1.35 ERA over his last three. Nestor Cortez, everybody keeps waiting for him to fall off the cliff. The cliff hasn't happened yet. I don't know who wins that one. I would probably go with the maybe take a spin with Tampa Bay. I did that yesterday. Maybe take another spin with Tampa Bay there. Although I don't love fading Cortez, I do like the under there quite a bit. That's my take on those two.
Well, I mean, Cortez did stumble his last time out. He stumbled against the Twins, gave up 4 on 7 hits in 4 1/3 and an 8-1 loss. That was the day we said the Yankees probably had their worst game in a couple of months.
Right.
But you're right. McClanahan has been rolling of late. 5 straight wins. He's pitched at least 6 innings in each of those starts.
Yep.
If you go back one more start, in his last 6 starts, he's 5-0. He's given up a total of 5 runs in 40 innings.
Well, and what I look at there is the Rays have won 7 straight as far as his starts go.
Right.
They haven't lost one of his starts since the 30th of April.
Correct.
So. All right, very good. So take the Braves here. I'm not afraid of the run line in this spot. I think there's and that's why you're seeing 70 cents worth of value. They're the visitors. They get 9 at bats.
Now, do you think that's going to go over the total too?
This Braves game?
Yeah. Depending where you look, it's 9 or 9.5.
Give me the team. God. So you're playing team total over 5.5 or over 9.5. You're basically making the same bet. I just don't know how much you're going to get out of the Nats. That's my problem. If you get 3 runs out of the Nats, can the Braves score 7? Probably. But do I want to bet on the score over 5.5? Not particularly. If I was going to play a total, I'd play team total over 5.5.
I'm looking at the first 2 games of the series were 9-5 and 10-4.
I understand. They haven't been able to stop them, and the Braves have got a lead, and then they pitch to contact, so you're likely to get a couple of runs out of the visitors or out of the underdogs. So,
and Atlanta's been scoring a ton of runs. I mean, I don't know what the hell happened all of a sudden. Where they're like, "Oh shit! Hey, look, we can put runs on the board."
Everybody decided to start playing some good baseball. So,
yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Exactly.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those games. I don't want any part of the under. Not sure about the over yet, but in no world would I play the under there. So yeah, I'll lean over. I'll lean even harder team total over for the Braves.
And Bill asked if are we familiar with the Red Sox pitcher today as Josh Winkowski?
We talked about it. Well, we didn't talk about it. He was supposed to go. I had him on the board for yesterday because and I'll tell you why this was supposed to be on. It's supposed to be on Chaos. So.
And then they flipped it to Pavetta.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Originally, they were flipping it around where they were talking about it could be Rich Hill today too, and then apparently they went back to Winkowski.
Right.
But he's a pretty high-rated prospect in the Red Sox organization. I know he struggled in his first start, but I mean he's facing Kaprelian, and we talked about him last week against Cleveland about how he hasn't been good.
Mm-hmm.
And Boston, you're looking at an Oakland team. I think they've lost 15 out of 16, and Boston's won 11 out of 13. So whether Witkowski struggles or not, I think Boston has more than enough in the tank to get the win.
Yeah, I'm going to check the weather here and see if it's what the wind's doing. I'm assuming since it's 9.5 with 2 questionable pitchers on the mound, I'm assuming it's going to be blowing in pretty good. And that's not going to be much of a factor. So less than 10 miles an hour. So wind won't be a factor in that one. I like the over in that game. I'm not going to lie. And it's hard to get in front of a team playing as badly as Oakland right now. So yeah, I'll take Boston in the over. I'll make it Square City.
Yeah, Square City.
Tell me about some hockey, buddy.
Oh man, we got to talk about hockey. I thought we were talking about tiddlywinks. What about Russian table tennis?
I'll bring Allie on.
I'm going to take the Lightning tonight. They're obviously an underdog. The puck line is huge. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Plus $7 billion. Not really, but to get here, Tampa Bay's had.
Is that the Lightning? Is that the Lightning laying 1.5?
No. If that's the Lightning laying 1.5, would be plus 300.
Okay.
But Tampa Bay, they beat Toronto in 7 to get here. Since then, it's been a bit easier. They swept Florida. They beat the Rangers in 6 after dropping the first 2 games. All of a sudden, they came back and took care of business. The Avs, of course, swept Nashville. They beat up St. Louis after Binnington got hurt. And then they wiped out the Oilers. Scotty, let me ask you, are you a little surprised that Colorado's going to go back to Darcy Kemper in Game 1 as opposed after seeing what Frank Coos did against the Oilers?
Well, he didn't have a great game last time out, and I think that made the was it the last one or the one before? Because one of them he struggled.
I think it was the last one when they lost in overtime.
Yeah,
or won in overtime.
The one in overtime, right? So, I think if he would have had another terrific performance there, then this would have been a more difficult decision. But they didn't want to Wally Pip him. So yeah, that's right. He gave up 5 in the last game. They win that one 6-5. And so I think if that's another 1 goal, 2 goal game, I think he's probably in goal for this one.
But here's the thing that bothers me. Not only is Colorado, we talked about how the rest/rust factor hurt the Lightning in Game 1 against the Rangers. You've got the same issue with Colorado here.
Sure.
And Kemper hasn't played since May 31st.
Yeah, it's been just over 2 weeks for him.
Now, does that concern you at all?
A little bit indeed. The injuries like to Kadri is probably the injuries on the Colorado side at the end of the day are probably more concerning to me than the layoff. I worry about this team not at full strength. I think they do have the best player on the ice in McKinnon,
right?
But whether they can sustain it for 3 or 4 lines against this pretty deep Tampa Bay team, I like Colorado tonight, but I have to admit Tampa Bay at plus 140. That price is probably just a little too good to pass up because I don't really have any interest in laying Colorado at minus 160 or minus 155, whatever it is. So I think there's.
Let me look real quick because I know the number's been shifting all day.
I don't think Tampa Bay, as long as Vasilevsky's in net, I don't think Tampa Bay should be a 3-2 underdog to anybody right now.
Yeah, the line is anywhere between 150 and 160.
Yeah. So based on that, I know we talked on Chaos. I told him that everybody was on Tampa Bay. I told him I liked Colorado. But it's a situation where I don't like them at that price. I think if you play this series, if you play this game, are they going to win more than what, 2 out of 5? Yeah, they are.
That's the way I was looking at it. I just think that the way Vasilevsky has played since losing Game 2 to the Rangers, where they just completely shut the Rangers down, especially at even strength.
Right.
And like you said, the injuries to Kadri was a big factor in the first, 2+ rounds.
Right.
And, Vasilevsky is a better goaltender than Darcy Kemper. I know that Kemper had some great numbers in the regular season, but we're talking about a guy that's already got 2 rings.
Yep. Yeah, Scott was making the argument he's top 5 goaltenders of all time.
I said he got Tampa Bay at 160, so the line's been moving
nice
in that fashion. So,
well, that's not surprising. Yeah, I think there's some inefficiency in that line. So, yes, even it's a situation where if I'm going to bet it, I'm going to bet against what I think is going to happen simply because of the value involved. And people, we talked about that a little bit yesterday about, somebody said that was one of the most important things they learned from watching us is pay attention to those numbers. And sometimes it'll even spin a pick completely on a 180 axis simply because of the price that's involved.
Right.
And that's exactly the case here tonight. I think I like Colorado. I like them at home. They haven't played a Stanley Cup final in many, many years. Obviously the crowd's going to be fired up, but at the end of the day, you're going to give me 140, 150. I'm going to have to play that.
Right.
That way, no matter what happens, I can come back tomorrow and go, "Yep, that's the way I saw it." So remember, I told you. I said, "Well, Colorado." I said Colorado was going to win the game, and they did. Or I said, "Oh, well, I think Tampa Bay for the value. You have to go that way," and then they win. It's like, see, good value. So either way, I'm setting myself up for success, there, buddy.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm sure nobody will call you out on being about as wishy-washy as a politician.
I'm not being wishy-washy at all. I'm explaining my thought process when it comes to making a lot of bets, and a lot of them come down to that, where I'm betting on the team that I don't like as much, simply because there is enough value involved.
And of course, Jeffrey Mayer, formerly known as Tony Tarasco, telling us that he's going with Atlanta and Toronto with the adjusted total parlay over 7.5 for the totals in both of those games at plus 115.
Okay. I worry about the Toronto game, man.
Going over 7.5?
Mm-hmm.
Really? With Zimmerman pitching after we just talked about how bad he is?
Well, how much can you count on from Baltimore? I mean, that's.
Well, they put up 6 yesterday.
I know that. I know they've been scoring a little bit lately.
I mean, I know they're due for regression because they scored 6.
And Barrios hasn't been great. Yeah, 9.5. Yeah, okay. Actually, I had that mixed up with the Tampa Bay Yankees.
No, I wouldn't touch that.
I was thinking it was Toronto Yankees. Put it this way. I like the over more in the Toronto game. I was thinking Toronto Yankees instead of Tampa Bay Yankees there for a second.
There you go, Scott.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
There's your big fan, Bronco, coming out with, "You're the wishy-washiest." You sent this guy a hat.
He's really going to hate me once the Chiefs start dominating Denver again. You know, his president last time Denver beat Kansas City?
Was it Obama?
It was Obama. That's right.
I mean, I can't say a whole lot because, I mean, Buffalo went 0 for the 70s against the Dolphins. But, I mean, that was a stretch where Buffalo basically had O.J. Simpson and nothing else, and Miami was winning Super Bowls or going to Super Bowls.
Right. Yep. Well, and then it was then they just got a new daddy in New England. So. Yeah,
but now New England's not what they were either.
Nope, that's true. TB12 has moved on. So you like Tampa Bay plus the money? Where are you at on the total here, bud? Or are we going to find out later?
We'll find out later. But
excellent. All right, let's make some money. Let's rock and roll because we got to spend some time doing Lex's thing.
Yeah, Bronco said thanks to Melvin Gordon. That's why they didn't win last year.
Oh God, whatever. Okay.
Like we talked about, I'm going to take the Red Sox over the A's. We just talked about that when Bill was asking about Winkowski. Don't have any faith in Kaprelian. Don't have any faith in Oakland's lineup or light up to do what Chris Farley used to do on Saturday Night Live during Weekend Update.
Oh, Brendan Brower.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And here I'm going to go on.
The best pitcher out there. I don't always keep from giving up home runs.
I don't throw strikes. My lineup doesn't score runs or get hits or get on base.
That does sound like we could absolutely do that about a couple of these teams. So, yep. Lay in the wood with the Red Sox. Cool. Tampa Bay. Sure. Take a spin on him.
I just like the way McClanahan's been pitching.
I know. I got burned yesterday. It's your turn.
Yeah, basically. I just, I think that the way McClanahan's pitched, he'll keep them in that game. And if they can actually, field the ball better as opposed to, whatever the hell Arozarena did yesterday.
Yep.
They might have had a shot to win that game.
And you like St. Louis, laying the number there over Pittsburgh.
Now, speaking of St. Louis, you have to wonder, Mikolas threw 129 pitches yesterday.
Yeah.
How's that going to affect him when he comes back in 5 days? Because, I mean, that's a big pitch count, especially in this day and age of if you get to triple digits, you should consider yourself fortunate.
Well, I mean, we'll see. About the only time you see anybody go north of 110 is when they've got a no-hitter going. So
I know Molly threw, 119 or something yesterday? Because he went 9 in that game with Arizona, which of course there was no score after 9.
I was in a total dead zone for 3 hours. I had no service. Every old person in the world was out there posting selfies on Facebook. So I could not, from the time I walked in from the parking lot was the last time I had an internet connection. Although it was weird, I was able to text you and send you pictures.
Yeah.
But as far as like checking scores or getting on anything like that, couldn't do it.
Yeah, that Reds Diamondbacks game yesterday was 0-0 after 9. Molly went 9 innings, gave 3 hits and no walks, 12 strikeouts, got a no decision.
Yeah, just like we had that one handicapped. Nothing after 9. Yeah, we called that completely.
Ended up 5-3 and 12.
Yeah, I know that was. Believe it or not, we'll be talking about that game here in just a little while on one of our segments on Back to the Window with Scott and Scott.
Must be call the cops.
I don't want to give too much away.
Well, it's going to be Old Man Yells at Clouds.
No, I still think we need to do an Old Man Yells at Clouds segment. But so
right.
if you want to play the first 246, very good. You want to play them on the run line, 515. Again, we see why would you even bet a team at -170 or -190? Well, because you put them together, like Frank from American Pickers says, you got to bundle. You got to bundle them together, paying you 7 to 5 or 142 on $100. As far as you want to play the run line on there, put a little extra value on there. That's a 3.4 to 1, 340 on $100. Very good. 4-teamer.
All right. We got the Brewers over the Mets. Corbin Burns. Hopefully this is one of those times when he actually gets some run support.
Okay.
Not sold on the Mets here. They've struggled against Burns before. The next one I'm a little concerned about. Sonny Gray. Cue up Scott's rant about players named Gray.
Josiah Gray pitched well last time out, right? And didn't John Gray pitch well for Texas?
When?
Yeah. Didn't he have a good start last time?
I don't know. I'd have to look.
Like yesterday? Day before? What am I thinking of?
Let me see when John Gray.
Maybe I'm just thinking of Josiah Gray and extrapolating it all to projecting it onto all Grays.
Josiah Gray, who didn't pitch the other day because he was going to, and then it rained. Remember that? And then we thought he was going to go yesterday, and then they put Tetro in.
Yeah.
John Gray, yeah, he was good in his last start, which was Sunday. He gave up 1 run on 3 hits.
There you go.
3 walks and 10 strikeouts in 6 innings in a game that ended up 8-6.
Right.
So you figure it out. Yeah.
All right. So Burns is, he's just not quite the pitcher he was last year. Can we say that?
Yeah, I think that's accurate. It'd help if his team, would be a little more consistent at the plate. I mean, he's still got an ERA of 2.48.
I understand.
And a sub-1 whip. So, I mean, you'd have to think, if the Brewers were even average at putting runs on the board, he might have a winning record.
Although he's given up 6 runs over his last 10 innings, which is not
true.
Ideal.
Well, 6 earned.
6 earned. He gave up 8 runs total. 11 hits. So, and he's also walking guys, Chris, and that's the part I'm worried about. After walking 5 guys since May 1st, he's walked 6 in the last 2 games.
Yeah, which just tells me Angel Hernandez was not the home plate umpire for those games.
Nope. All right, so you like the Brewers there? Okay, fair enough.
I'm just worried about David Peterson actually, pitching well.
All right, fair enough. Twins over Seattle.
Yeah, like I said, this is Sonny Gray due to come back off the IL unless they changed it again.
Sonny Gray.
As of this morning, he was marked as the starter.
Taking a little spin on Tampa Bay plus 140 over Avs. That'll put some nice value on that parlay.
It did.
And yeah, that's how you can play three big favorites and still turn it into 10 to 1 on a 4-teamer, which is what it should pay anyway for at -110. So very good. And you want to put a little run line. You want to put a little sprinkle on the excitement there. Lay the Brewers and the Twins, and especially the Lightning -1.5 at plus 300. You're thinking, well, that's going to make a pretty good parlay. Yeah, it will. That's a 37 to 1 shot on a 4-team parlay. They don't get a lot better than that.
Rye sounds like they do a major league where they're like, Cleveland? I didn't know they still had a team. He's like, Sonny Gray still in the league?
Yeah, no shit. Where's he been? Oh, he's exiled to Texas. That's right.
No, he's in Minnesota.
Or Minnesota, rather.
He got, I think Cincinnati traded him.
John Gray went to Texas, yeah.
Right. I don't remember what Cincinnati got for him, but,
All right. Well, Lex, it's the moment you've been waiting for. We play request here at the Parlay Show. Chris, what do you got?
As Joe Bean or Survivor said, it's the moment of truth.
So, as everybody remembers, or maybe you don't remember, Lex asked us to do a special 10-teamer with no repeats, right? No same game stuff.
Yeah, of course. Which was a pain in the ass.
Well, so Chris has completed his task with a humble gladness that he's certainly known for.
Exactly.
Okay, what do we got?
I'm going to stick with the Rays and the Yankees under 7. I've seen it at 6.5 at some books, and this is probably one of those games where 6.5 might be too high anyway.
Okay, yep.
I'm going to go with the Guardians over the Rockies, even though, and now we've determined what Austin Gomber's wife's name is, and even though Rye says she's hot, it's not going to necessarily help Gomber on the mound.
I will back that up that she does seem to be fairly attractive.
Connor Pilkington going for the Guardians. They're actually at plus money, or they were when I did this, this afternoon. I'm going to take the Diamondbacks over the Reds. It's Gallen facing Luis Castillo, not Luis Castillo, the second baseman for the Marlins, but Luis Castillo, the big fat pitcher for the Reds, who kind of is starting to look like Bartolo Colon.
What? What are you talking about? I just saw him. He looks the same as he ever did.
Yeah, well, I got to liven it up.
Looks like Johnny Cueto. He looks like.
Oh no, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking of Sal Romano when he was still pitching over there.
Oh, okay. All right, very good. Bartolo Colon trying to come back, by the way.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I bet you the Mets will sign him because they need pitchers.
They need somebody that can hit some home runs.
That too. Hey, the Dodgers could pick him up. They need somebody.
That's true. Make him a closer.
There you go. Hey, the Phillies could pick him up as a closer.
Mm-hmm.
I wait for Ryan to say F no.
What else you got? You got the Braves over 9.5. Yeah, sure. They might get there by themselves.
I'm going to take the Padres over the Cubs. I watched the game yesterday. I was like, hey, look, they're up 5-0, and then they took Kyle Hendricks out. And by the end of the fifth or the end of the sixth, it was 5-4. By the end of the seventh, it was 10-5, and it ended up 12-5.
Happened to me the day before. You get a surprisingly good start out of a Chicago Cubs starter, only to have the bullpen piss it away. So yeah, and burned a fair amount of bullpen yesterday too.
Yeah, and you're looking here, and the pitching matchup is Ryan Weathers, who's been terrible in AAA, making his first outing of the year against Caleb Killian, who's made one start. In case you were wondering, I looked at the weather. The wind projected
blowing out
to left center at 20 miles an hour.
12, buddy.
Total's 11.5. Oh, it was 11.5 when I looked this morning.
Okay, so does that mean we're going to play the Cubs at over 6.5?
They could probably go over 6.5 and still lose.
That's very possible. Very possible.
This could be the
last time the wind was blowing out on Wrigley Field and the total was high like that. I said, you know what? I'm going to be a contrarian. I'm going to take the under. I'm going to play the under here. Fuck it.
Was that the game where the Diamondbacks hit like 42 home runs?
Yeah, it was over by the fifth inning. I'm like, okay. Well, by the time we were off the air, I was already fucking beat.
But
so, good call.
Could this be the Cubs Phillies game back in the 70s with Dave Kingman and everything, where it was 23-22? Sure.
Yes, it certainly could be. I'm going to put the under 45 on that one for the total, but you could definitely be approaching 30.
Why are the Cubs favorites? Because Ryan Weathers has been terrible in El Paso. Yep. That's the only thing I got. That's
Spanish for the Paso, by the way.
What are you, Ron Burgundy?
No, that's a Chris Farley thing.
Weathers is in the minors, and I had to write this game, so I had to look it up. He's 3-4 at El Paso. His ERA is 7.29. Not
ideal. Although we had somebody that we faded the other day that had been terrible in the minors and came up was great in their first start. So
true.
We'll see. All right, so you got the Brewers, you got the under there, sure. Okay.
Yeah, there's the Angels and Dodgers under 9, like we were talking about.
Man, yeah. Bichette over 1.5 total bases, -125.
Yep.
Over 4.5 strikeouts for Contreras. The Pirates going up against
St. Louis.
Okay.
And there's Tampa Bay and Colorado under 6.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Rye also said Rachel Gomber is about to get steamrolled.
She should be so lucky.
If that happened, I'd have to get a new co-host because Steen's wife would probably murder him and bury him somewhere in the apartment complex.
I guarantee you, my wife murders me. You're never finding the body. So,
there you go. So
that's a clever woman right there.
If Steen doesn't show up one day, you'll know why. He's tried to steamroll Rachel Gomber, and then Tracy killed him.
That's absolutely correct. So, by the way, I don't know if I told you this. I'm going to have her on the show here in a little while to break down the Tour de France.
Oh yeah.
She has massive knowledge of European cycling. So anybody will probably do it with Rachel. So.
Oh yeah, sure, do it with Rachel. Yeah, why not?
Let's find out what. Well, you've kind of got an agenda here, buddy. You got a lot of parlays to get to. We have a little more room to turn around. You don't.
That's true. I mean, you guys do have a little.
I don't know how you guys fucking did it with guests. I guess you just didn't bullshit for the first 10 minutes.
No, we still did. That's why the show was longer.
Oh, that's right. That's why you went an hour and 20. Yes. And they brought me in to play cop here and get this shit under control.
Hey, take it over that Jim Williams guy. He's over there in the chat somewhere. I saw his name.
He said
something. What about Dorian Gray?
I have the picture. Does that count?
Sure.
Speaking of songs off of was that off of Cornerstone for Styx?
Yeah.
Dorian Gray song. Anyway, let's find out what Lex is going to be making on his parlays. If he just plays, he's going to play. What do you say? He's going to play $10, right? So his $10 parlay. He plays it the easy way. Going to pay $7,600. That's not bad. But if he really wants to step out there and take a big swing, at $10, $15,000, almost $16,000. That's I'm going to say that's not quite a new car. It's a nice used car. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good. So there you got it. There's your 10-team shot in the dark. You got a 4-teamer. You got a couple of 2-teamers. I don't know what else you want, but if you want more from Chris, make sure you check out his premium plays in the comment in the show description. You can find that link there as well. You can find mine too. And of course, we want to thank everybody for stopping by today. Chris, we only got 2 days left in the week, man. So just pace yourself, everybody. Have a good time. Good luck on all your plays, especially that 10-teamer. Let's hit that. Boy, wouldn't that be something if you put out a 10-teamer by request for Lex and it comes in and cashes him out. Lex, I expect you if you win $8,000 tonight on this parlay, I expect you to be sharing the details on all of your social media 24 hours a day for like 3 days straight. So,
and of course, if you guys ever have any questions and it's not during the show, you can always reach me on Twitter. I usually have my computer up if I'm writing.
Yes.
Or doing research for the show or whatever. So
absolutely correct. So as always, you guys appreciate you stopping by. Don't forget to if you have the ability, here in just a couple minutes, we'll be rolling down to the other studio, Studio B, talking to Scott Reichel as we do Back to the Window. But if you can't make that one, hey, make sure you come back and see us tomorrow. Same time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. Chris and I will chat. We'll chat about a few things, but we'll always bring it back and spend the majority of our time talking about
Just Parlays.
That's it. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.